Good morning. It's Heather with another installment of R-Rated Reviews. And like my bio says, I'm going to pretty much review anything. It's primarily tools and like cleaning supplies and makeup and shit, but I'll review anything that I think is going to either help or influence or help someone make a decision. So today I'm going to review women. And I wish that I didn't have to, but I can see why the consensus of the population thinks we're assholes. I mean, there's supposed to be this sisterhood, women support women. I mean, I don't know about the majority of people out there. I'm not, of course, this will be laced with my opinion, like all of my reviews are, but it's genuinely going to be a review of my experience with women. And there are a handful of you out there, ladies, that I love to death, especially when a woman can genuinely encourage or compliment another woman. Like the two chicks on here, somebody told me I was hysterical yesterday. I'm like, she didn't have to say that. That was really nice. I'm like, thank you so much. And then there's another woman who's like, I can't wait to introduce you to my boyfriend. He's going to love you. Like, what chick says that? You're fucking awesome. I genuinely am happy for anyone. When something good happens for good people, I love that. I mean, I can't stand when good things happen to bad people, but I'm also not going to step in and try and stop it or influence it. But women are really not nice to each other. We're not. I mean, I am. And if you're not nice, I'm not going to come after you. I'm just going to whatever, nothing really. I was told years ago that I have a razor sharp tongue. I am well aware. That is an app that has been in slumber for many, many years. I am capable of saying really hurtful things. That's a defense mechanism. It comes from, I mean, let's not get into therapy, but I'm witty, I'm smart, and I've had to defend myself many times over the years, and I just happen to be pretty good at it. And I just always felt like you could hurt somebody more with words than a fist. So, and I'm a wimp. So I don't do that though. But it gets difficult not to sometimes. Doing the right thing is not easy. Maybe if doing the right thing were easier, more people would do it. And the reason for this is because I get an email each morning that tells me what pieces of mail I'm getting delivered that day. And so this morning, there is an invitation that is arriving in the mail. And I really didn't get personal with any of these reviews or anything. I mean, the last 2 weeks, I put a couple of little things out there, but really, and I'm not going to dive into my entire personal life either, but I get mail, a picture of the mail each day, just so I know what's in there. I don't know how I signed up for it years ago, but it's kind of cool to know what's coming. And the invitation that came today was written to TJ. And it's obviously a wedding invitation or a save the date because the return address literally says the future Mr. and Mrs. blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, huh. Now, TJ and I split up. I say split. If there were no influences in the entire world, we'd be fine as friends. Like, I am cautiously optimistic that we can really remain friends. I don't think there's an issue with anyone remaining friends after a relationship. It speaks volumes about your maturity and where you are. You argue in the relationship, I don't want to argue anymore. It's done. But it takes the outside world to be buzzing and influencing people to cause the issues. And it also takes the people that are in the relationship to listen to it, to have it cause a problem. And so when I first met TJ, I was very well received. His parents loved me. I mean, what's not to love? The only reason we ever had issues later on in this area was because I taught him to think for himself. Like, in the beginning, I'm like, that doesn't look right. And I keep my mouth shut. But as you get involved with somebody, you can't help but say, why do you allow that? What do you want? I don't know. I mean, the poor guy was a good boy and just did what he was told his whole life. Fuck, he would have married me and then just lived unhappy because that's what he was supposed to do. That's not fair. So I taught him to think for himself. I'm like, well, what do you want? I'm like, you need to start learning to think for yourself. I'm like, do you realize that decisions are being made for you? And you got your head buried in the sand. Like, wake up. Well, that was not well received. So as he started thinking for himself and maybe going against the grain or not doing what he's told, we were talking about, I'm pushing 50 and he will be soon too. I was no longer well received because she's going to take you, whatever. It's ego. It's all about ego and control. And women can be awful to each other. It's awful. And then to stand back and watch it, or to be villainized for just doing the right thing. Like, I'm not going to control and dictate what he does with his life. He needs to choose for himself the same way I would. So this invitation comes today, and it's written just to him. Now, he doesn't think that there are puppet strings playing in the background, and I've always said, yes, there are. So we split up, amicably part, like August 23rd. Today's what, September 10th, September 11th? But we didn't tell his parents until a few days ago. And we told them together, we sat down as a united front and said, listen, we have no issue with each other. No one hurt each other. No one is, there's no animosity. Listen, he doesn't want me. And that's okay, because the person he is now is not who I fell in love with. The guy I fell in love with left the relationship years ago. And I've just been trying tooth and nail for 4 years to try to get it back. It's not going to happen. So I'm sort of over it, but I'm not angry. Like, the resentment and the anger and the frustration left as soon as he was like, I don't want this. I'm like, good for you. I'm like, thank you. It's a relief. Now, I don't have to end it and wonder for the rest of my life. Did I leave too early? Did I not try hard enough? Was there anything else I could do? No, there isn't. But that makes it so easy. We've always been friends. So we would like to continue to be friends. And without outside influences and ego and puppet strings, that would be entirely possible. But I'm worried. And if I get emotional, I may a little bit, because there's only so much that I can mask with my feelings, because I'm a human being and I'm a girl. And so this invitation to this wedding, or whatever it is that's coming today, save the date, whatever, is written to just him. It was mailed 2 days ago. So who got on the horn and announced to everybody that we're not together and wants to control the situation to the point, let's get her out of here? Like, they want to be friends? I don't believe that. I know what's best. I know what's best. Let me get in here and fuck this all up, because I'm a bitch. I can't cut the strings. I know what's best. And that it's a control measure. It is totally a control measure. So there's not even +1 or and guest. I mean, 6 years. And by the way, we were engaged. So this isn't like we ended an engagement 6 years and 3 days, or I don't know how many, just days after we sat down as a united front to say we're going to be amicable and remain friends. And you get on the horn, this person gets on the horn and tell, no. The invitation, no, just TJ. Not and guests, because then he'll bring her. Or God forbid he meets someone. My son must be such a loser. He can't possibly meet somebody by the time this wedding comes around in a year. And that is the most discreet, minute detail. I see it. You choose for him. You choose for him. If someone called you for the address, just give them the fucking address. No, just write the invitation. They're not seeing. No, who's broken up and gotten back together before? I have. Oh, I'm so sure. No. Days after. Let's erase it like it never happened. Just him. And I'm like, do you realize that you're being controlled? You just had the decision. Now, I'm not saying I was going to go. And is it hurtful? Yeah, it fucking hurts a little. But the point is, this is what I'm talking about. I said, this is the influence I'm talking about that is going to wind up wrecking this. And I can take the high road. And I might jump around all over the place and speak in metaphors and analogies because to me, I understand that more. Hurricanes are way off the coast. Sometimes you don't know they're coming. But if you put a perfect storm together, this little rainstorm, thunderstorm can turn into a hurricane right quick. And luckily, I take the high road. I'm not going there. But Hurricane Heather has touched ground on many occasions, unexpectedly, violently, not physically, violently, because I don't like injustice. I'll take injustice for me, but I'm not going to watch injustice for somebody else. How do you have the nerve to make that decision for someone in the most minute, like that's some shady background shit. Just write the invitation to him. Don't let him have the choice to bring a guest or any guest. But let's also send the message. We're not writing it to TJ and Heather because it's days after their engagement's done and there's no chance they'll get back together. So let's make sure we just not include her specifically because then she might show up. But don't even give him the option to bring a guest. And I'm like, do you realize, did you see, I sent a pic, do you see this invitation? You're going to tell me that this isn't, why do women do this to other women? First of all, why do you try to control your sons? You think you know what's best for them. Women need to understand that if you are more supportive, genuinely more supportive of another woman, especially a son, not only will you actually have a better relationship with that woman, but you'll also have a closer, better relationship with your son. This shit that goes on in the background, I didn't ask for it and I didn't start it either. I did start it. I taught him how to think for himself, and it was, all I ever heard was, that's not how we do things. Well, that's in your house. I mean, I was inviting people to Sunday dinner. I'm all about family. I have none. I don't have any. And so I'm all about family. So I'm not going to start anything. And in order to keep peace, I'm going to take the high ground. But man, am I going to have an opinion on the experience? We could have had a much better relationship. Now, this facet was a pretty heavy one in the relationship, but it wasn't what ended it. I mean, we're just not made for each other, and that's fine. Why do you have to come in and control that? Try to influence it. It's not going to help him. It's not a benefit. Let him grow up. Let him be a man. Let him make his own choices. What makes him happy? If this is what makes him happy, leave him alone. Why come after me in the most passive-aggressive ways? Because it's really hurtful that I've just been erased. It's like, I knew I never mattered, and now you've just validated that. It's like, I'm not going to let you know that. I'm going to tell you guys. But women are the same way to each other. I mean, I've got clients, acquaintances, through the years, business associates. Fuck, women in business? Holy shit. I would much rather help somebody be a success if there's something I can do to help them. But I'm certainly not ever going to step in the way and try to hinder somebody. There's a lot of shit that goes on, and it's not right. And maybe if women were more supportive of each other instead of bashing each other and trying to knock each other down and one-up each other, maybe the consensus of the population wouldn't think that we're emotional assholes and that fucking women don't even want to be women anymore. It's like, no, don't change who you are as a woman. Don't change being a woman. Change the actions of the women so that we're better people. I mean, yes, I get sensitive. Yes, I get butthurt. Yeah, do I cry? Yes, I cry. But I also, it's like, men don't give a shit about this stuff because they are less emotionally programmed. I get it. We have to accept that. But learn how to fucking handle it. It's like, be nice for your own karma. Because God is always watching. And at some point, you're going to have to answer for your actions and your words. which is why I choose mine carefully. I mean, they're gross sometimes, but my words aren't hurtful unless I intend them to be. And I'm very cautious about what I say to people that's going to be hurtful, because I don't want that to come back on me. And I don't want to be responsible for making somebody feel bad about themselves. But I'm genuinely concerned at this point that this minor detail of him being invited to this event by himself without a guest it's the beginning. I mean, we just laid in bed last night talking about how I'm worried. I'm cautiously optimistic that we're going to be able to have a friendship. But once I move out and I'm not here all the time and you don't see I'm a decent person, and then the people start whispering to you and you don't get to see that I'm not that, all of a sudden, he's not quite there yet. He is influenceable, or easily influenced, I should say. So there's a chance that there's the resentment that's not there now will be there. It's like, why do that? It's not going to make him happy. It's not nice. It's not true. But in general, why do women have to do that? I don't see guys doing this to women. They don't get catty. I mean, don't get me wrong, men will gossip just like a bitch. But there are some ladies on here who have made comments to me that I think are fantastic. There are some that made some that are not nice and they're stupid, but I won't even dignify those by giving them any more attention. But I would rather focus on the positive. Why can't women be nice to each other? Why can't women be nice to their daughters-in-law? Why can't daughters-in-law be nice to their mothers-in-law, a mother-in-law, whatever? We shouldn't have more than one. But I loved my mother-in-law, my ex-mother-in-law. Loved her. I say passed because she passed a couple of years ago. Up until the day she died. I got divorced in 2010. I still love this woman. She was wonderful. You know why? She was kind to me. She minded her own business, and she didn't try to jam herself into the relationship I had with my husband at the time. I just wish more women would truly, don't tout from the fucking rooftops, I'm woman, hear me roar. Yeah, we can roar, but not at each other. We don't even need to roar at other people. We just need to roar at whatever accomplishment we're trying to make. It's like, just be nice. Just fucking be nice. It's like, why do you care if your son wants to have a mature, responsible friendship with somebody who he was at one point thinking he was going to spend the rest of his life with? And now that didn't work out, why is it such a bad thing for them to be amicable? I mean, if I date anyone after this, one of the first things I'm going to lay out right off the bat is, by the way, I'm friends with my ex. Don't worry, I'm not fucking him. I mean, I haven't had sex since March. So we weren't fucking when we were together. So don't worry about it now. But I know him. He knows me. And it's comfortable. Why is that a fucking problem? I get for some people there's still some remaining feelings there, and don't cross that bridge. And I'm not saying everybody should remain friends, because sometimes there's some hurt and there's some shit that goes on. But we don't have that. So, and I let a lot of it go. So why can't we be friends? His mommy doesn't like it. Mommy knows best. I mean, please, he's going to be okay. You don't have to step in and take care of him again because I'm not here. And I don't think that bashing me or cutting me out and erasing me like I didn't exist is going to be helpful for a better relationship with him. It's the same thing with all women. I mean, my ex-husband was my best friend for years. We went to the gym. He got a family membership. We went to the gym 4 days a week together. We would take the kids to dinner once a week, once a month. We'd go to breakfast once in a while. I bought him birthday presents from me, not just the kids. We always got along. If I had a barbecue, he was invited. We were very good friends. The marriage didn't work out. But you know what? We get along really well, and we're the best of friends till he got a girlfriend who was a cunt. Okay? And I was still polite to her because I was not going to be the ammunition or the reason that there was an issue. And he saw it. He knew. He used to come to my house and hang out, have a glass of wine, and she'd call, what are you doing? So he'd stop answering. He would come to my house and bitch about her the same way I would bitch about who I was with. We were friends. And it got to the point where she was like, no more. So he couldn't be friends with me. And then she soured his opinion of me. And we went from being the best of friends for like 5 years to like not speaking for like 5 years. Now she's gone and things are sort of okay again. It's like, why do women do that to each other? We're not a threat if we don't try to be a threat. And I won't allow somebody to be a threat. And I don't want to have a razor sharp tongue. I don't want to slice you down verbally up one side and down the other because I'm really good at it. And I don't need the validation of being really good at it. I would prefer to just be nice and kind. But taking the high road gets really hard sometimes, and it really tests your determination and your strength. And I will continue to take the high road. But my review of my experience with women thus far, I'm talking about exterior influences, in-laws, friends, whatever. Your inner circle and your family, I won't even touch that. Because as I said, I have 0 family. And I won't have toxicity around me. It's not healthy. And so I'm sure there will be questions or comments. I would love if you guys hit like or subscribe. I know this was a little long without actually a product, but I think it's important. It's got to fucking be nice. I don't have to say this to the guys. They don't give a shit. They're less emotional. Please, women, girls, ladies, even the bitches, cunts, stop. Just fucking be nice. Stop trying to control everything. Let people choose for themselves. Don't step in and try to influence or control things because you can't control anybody but yourself. Have a great day. And if you want to hit like or subscribe, I would love that. Oh, I went to Lowe's yesterday and I got the new vacuum. Part 2 will be coming tonight. And that explains another reason why I hate the unboxing videos. Have a great day.